On today's 76ers now, what a steal Justin Edwards has been for the 76ers. Daryl Morey finding him in undrafted free agency, and this whole year, but especially the last month or so, Edwards has been fantastic. We're going to talk about it. Plus, Nick Nurse gave injury updates on Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. We'll get to the latest on Embiid, what the plan is with his knee injury. Plus, Tyrese Maxey sounds like he might be returning soon before the end of this season. Going to get into all that, but before we do, got a sub battle going on between us here at 76ers Now and our rivals at Chat Sports Celtics Today. On yesterday's show, on Celtics Today, they got 31 subs on their video. I'm trying to beat that number here on today's show. We have not beat that number all week. So I'm trying to set a new record for the week and take down Celtics Today while we're at it. Can we get more than 31 subs on today's show? Got Sixers content year-round, especially as we approach the offseason. Don't miss a thing. Hit that sub button. All right, we'll start with Justin Edwards because it's flat-out highway robbery that Daryl Morey was able to get a player of his caliber in undrafted free agency. He has gone from a UDFA in the 2024 NBA draft to a real key piece of this 76ers future, and he's proven that over the past couple of months. And his path from where he was just a couple of years ago to where he is now and the potential NBA career he is looking at is truly impressive. Of course, for those of you who don't know, Justin Edwards is a Philadelphia native, attended Imhotep Charter High School, where coming out of high school, he was a 5-star recruit and committed and attended Kentucky as a top 3 recruit in the nation. But then he became the first ever top 3 recruit to go undrafted after a pretty up and down year at Kentucky last year. It was a pretty rough year for that Kentucky team as a whole. And Edwards, going undrafted, signed with the Sixers. And really from the start of the year, you could tell, even going into Summer League and his time in the G League, he was deserving of at least being drafted. His stats as a whole, even going back to the beginning of the season when he really wasn't playing all that much, just looking at these for an undrafted player to be playing almost just over 26 minutes a game, averaging over 10 points, 3 rebounds, shooting efficiently at 46% from the field and 37% from 3. You'll take that a lot of times from a late first-round pick, much less a guy that you sign in undrafted free agency. And really since the start of January, Edwards has really taken advantage of his opportunity. He only played 2 games before the calendar flipped over to 2025. But since January, when the Sixers have been dealing with a lot of injuries, combined with him gaining Nick Nurse's trust in the rotation, which can be hard to do as a young player, he's gotten more opportunity and more time to play, and he has completely taken advantage of those minutes, especially as of late. I mean, I get it, small sample size, but take a look at his last 5 games, playing almost 36 minutes a night. Edwards is scoring over 20 points per game while shooting 49% from the field and 45.5% from 3. Truly incredible stuff for a guy that no NBA team even wanted to take a chance on less than 12 months ago. And if you think 5 games, too small of a sample size, which I would agree, not the end-all be-all, well, over his last 20 games, Edwards is shooting 38% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. So really, we have seen it now for a decently extended period of time where Justin Edwards has shown his abilities, his skills as a player who, frankly, should have been drafted probably in the first round of the NBA draft, and someone who's trying to become a key foundational piece of this Sixers team for years to come. But of course, the question is what he's been doing so far a sign of things to come, or is this just end of the season, he's getting a lot of opportunity, and we shouldn't come to expect this from Justin Edwards moving forward? Well, I'll tell you this. I think Justin Edwards is a legit player. Justin Edwards, since going undrafted in the 2024 NBA draft, has been tremendous for the Sixers, and especially over the last couple of months, he has shown to be a legit player, for the 76ers. Justin Edwards has the pedigree as a former top 3 recruit and former 5-star recruit. He has the size. He has a skill set that NBA teams covet. At 6'7", he can make shots and play defense. And that combination right there is what all NBA teams are looking for on that wing. And he can put the ball on the floor as well and get to his spots. He's not just a standstill catch and shoot guy. He can do some things offensively. He's also flashed some playmaking ability. His decision-making skills are above average for someone his age in his position. He always seems to be making the right decisions. And Nick Nurse gives Justin Edwards the tough assignments night in and night out. He's always guarding the opposing team's top player. Again, tougher player at his age. I think Justin Edwards is here to stay and a foundational piece for the 76ers team in the long term. But that's just what I think. And heading into next year, the Sixers are going to have a lot of questions this offseason regarding who they end up bringing back. Do they trade Paul George? Can they get Gershon Yabusele back? Can they get Quentin Grimes back? Does Jared McCain come back healthy? A lot of unknowns right now surrounding this team heading into next season. But I think Justin Edwards has played his way 100% to getting still real rotational minutes, but maybe even into getting starter minutes. So what say you? Does Justin Edwards deserve to start next season? Give me an S for start if you believe he's done enough to be warranted in the starting lineup next year. If you still need to see more, which I completely understand, type M for see more. So we discussed Justin Edwards. What a steal, what a player, and what a story being a Philly guy. Still to come, the latest on Joel Embiid as well as Tyrese Maxey, as Nick Nurse had some updates to give on each of them. Before we get to those updates, the Phillies got a big win on opening day yesterday over the Washington Nationals. We saw a Bryce Harper home run. We saw a Kyle Schwarber home run. Some big hits from the likes of JT Realmuto and Alec Boehm with the clutch one there at the end. Some good pitching from Zach Wheeler. This Phillies team, man, look, a lot of people are down on them, but I think they have a chance to make another deep run, hopefully get back to a World Series. And if you are excited and you want to rep the Phillies this year, get yourself some Phillies gear through our friends at Fanatics, chatsports.com/Phillies25. You go to that link, you can get yourself all different types of shirts, hoodies, crew necks, hats, jerseys. And if you use that link, they will know that we sent you over here at Chat Sports on 76ers. Now, I'll have that link in the comment section and the description of today's show. Again, that is chatsports.com/Phillies25. Get geared up for the baseball season and get yourself some Phillies gear today. All right, let's get to the latest first on Joel Embiid, because yesterday Nick Nurse gave an update regarding Embiid's status with his knee injury. Of course, he was shut down a few weeks ago after dealing with his knee injury all year. They thought they had a plan last offseason to get him healthy throughout the season, and was not able to happen this year. So they shut him down. They were consulting with doctors, and according to Nick Nurse, this is where we're at right now. Nurse said, there are still discussions, but again, I think it's probably not that far away. I don't know what the timeline is to get a decision made. I think, again, there's lots of people he's seeing and talking to and lots of information that they're gathering, and just want to absolutely be as thorough as possible and get every option on the table and then figure out where they go from there. So we don't have a concrete timeline or a concrete plan as of just yet on how the Sixers will manage Joel Embiid's knee, but it does sound from Nick Nurse we are very close to getting some kind of formal update very, very soon in terms of how they're going to move forward with this injury. And I know it's taken some time and people are going to be upset that they still haven't found a way to move forward, but I really don't mind them taking their time with this. There's no reason to rush into some sort of treatment plan. And, some people are worried because they're saying, oh, they're taking all this time. Are they not able to figure something out? Look, it's certainly possible that talking to all these doctors, they haven't been able to figure anything out because of the complications with his knee. But I really think that allowing them to take their time, get the best treatment plan possible is the way to go, because at the end of the day, if Embiid is not on this team next season and playing at 100%, they really don't have a chance no matter who else is on the roster. Nick Nurse also giving an update on Tyrese Maxey's status, who has not played here in a little bit, but sounds like Maxey could be back sooner rather than later. Here's what Nurse had to say on Mad Max. He got in some of the 5-on-0 work and got into all the shooting drills, did a little bit of post-practice shooting as well. That was today, Friday, March 28th. He's just trying to get back out there, get moving, start ramping up, and see when we can get him back out there. Now, for Tyrese Maxey, today for the first time, was a partial participant in practice. That is good news for him and his chances of getting back on the court. He was already ruled out for Saturday's game against the Miami Heat and Sunday's game against the Toronto Raptor with his sprained finger. That is the injury he is dealing with right now. But Nurse did say he has a chance to return on Tuesday against the New York Knicks. Maxey has not played since March 3rd in a loss to the Portland Trail Blazers with that sprained finger, as well as a back issue. The back issue seems to have been cleared up as of now. It's just that sprained finger, which Nurse also said at this point it's just a pain thing. Whenever Maxey feels he can get over the pain in that finger, he will be back on the floor. So it does sound like Tyrese Maxey is going to return this season. I was not anticipating we were going to see Maxey play again this year. I thought they would just go out the rest of the year. He would be dealing with that injury, and we would hopefully see this big three again next season. But it does sound like Maxey will be back sometime possibly early next week, maybe towards the end of next week. But I do think we'll see Maxey play again before the season is over. And I know people are going to say, why are we even trying to get him back in? Just hold him out so we can get a better draft pick. We don't want him winning games for us. Look, if Maxey is healthy and he wants to play, you're not holding Maxey out. And he's the type of guy where if he is good to go, he is going to want to play because he loves the game of basketball and he loves playing basketball. He's such a positive guy that I wouldn't see him just willing to sit out of games if he's healthy. So that's for starters. But also, the Sixers would get fined if they held Maxey out and he was actually healthy because he was an all-star last year. The NBA's player participation policy, if he is healthy, he has to play. And the Sixers have already been investigated a couple times this year. They got fined way back in the beginning of the year, and they got investigated just a couple of weeks ago regarding Paul George and Tyrese Maxey. Now, nothing came out of that investigation because both of them were legitimately injured. But if Maxey is getting healthy, as they say he is, and he's ready to play sometime next week, the NBA could investigate, find the Sixers again. There's no reason to do that. Get him out there. I get you got to keep this pick, but regardless, you can still sort of work around it by playing Maxey, limited minutes. You know, things like the Raptors are doing, for example. They'll play guys 3 quarters, pull them out in the 4th quarter, and then they'll end up losing that game. So it's good, though, for Maxey to get healthy before the end of the year. And honestly, I would love to see a little bit of Tyrese Maxey in the basketball court because it's been rough watching this Sixers team for the most part, outside of some guys like Quentin Grimes and Justin Edwards. All right, that'll do it for today's show. If you made it to the end of the video, that tells me hopefully you enjoyed what you were watching, and I encourage you, if you are not already, to hit that sub button. Plenty of more videos like this all throughout the year. As we approach the end of the year, we approach the off season. Plenty of draft coverage, free agency coverage, and more to come right here on 76ers Now.